Hello everyone, just want to give you a quick lesson in how not to get feedback when you go to a gig or a rehearsal studio. You're probably not going to get feedback in a recording studio, unless it's this one, where we also have rehearsals. But this SM58, it has what's called a polar pattern. All microphones have a polar pattern. I'll stand off so you can hear me on the lav. All microphones have what are called a polar pattern, and that is the profile where the microphone picks up sound the best. So the Shure SM58 has a cardioid polar pattern. If you think of the shaft of the microphone like the core of an apple, the polar pattern is the flesh of the apple, and it's apple shaped all the way around if it was a perfect apple. So the back of the microphone is the best place for the microphone not to pick up sound. Feedback is where the microphone is picking up sound that is being transmitted by the speakers, and then it just gets into a feedback loop, which is why it's called feedback. So here's an example of what feedback sounds like. That's feedback, right? So the best way to not get feedback, depending on the microphone that you're using, and if it's an SM58, most venues, most festivals, you're going to be using an SM58. The best place for the speakers to be is behind the microphone, as in facing the back of the microphone, which is this wedge monitor down here. It's kind of facing the back. The ideal for the wedge would be for the microphone to be down like that. But I'm also coming out the PA, so best of both worlds. I'm like that. If I point it that way at the PA, I've only got one speaker and it's picking up from both. So that's probably about the best. So don't point the microphone at the PA system. That's the best way to remove feedback. Also, the room's going to reflect sound. Don't jack the microphone up. If it's feeding back, chances are you're not going to be able to fight it with more volume. I don't know how you'd think that would be the case. In our rehearsal studios, we've got the Allen Heath 18T, which is a great system. Now, it automatically pulls out feedback for you. So if I go to the PA, provided you use our profile that is set up ready for you to go, it should automatically just dip out the frequency that it's feeding back at, and then over time it'll recover. There you go, you heard it. Thank you, Allen Heath. That is a lovely system. It's just a shame customers tend to bypass it by playing around with things. Do it ourselves studios.